Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back with me, Vessel of Chaos. So last time I've introduced you about which are the best archer and cavalry commander pairing for the KvK Season 2. And in this video, I'm going to introduce you towards which are the best infantry commander pairing for the KvK Season 2. Alright? Let's take a look on the commander. You know, infantry troops are considered to be better than the other kind of troops in the KvK Season 2, because the new release commander for the KvK Season 2, when he is paired with the right commander, is going to be able to defeat the enemy best archer commander pairing for the KvK Season 2. Who is going to be that commander pairing? I'm going to introduce you. Stay tuned, alright? Alright, before I proceed to the countdown, I'm going to retell you about our infantry legendary commander that we have encountered in the KvK Season 1. They are both Charles Martel and Richard I. As we know, both of them are specialized in defending. Okay, so what makes them both different one to each other is that their defending ability. While Charles Martel is more focused on creating shield to absorb the enemy damage, Richard I is specialized on healing himself. So, what's going to be the new legendary infantry commander that you are going to be encounter in the KvK Season 2? There are actually two new legendary commander. So the first one is Alexander the Great, which you can obtain him from the Wheel of Fortune. While the next one is Constantine I, where you can obtain him from the Mightiest Governor event. So, first of all, I'm going to discuss about Constantine I's skill. As we know, Charles Martel and Richard I are specialized in defending. Constantine I is released in order to defend more. As we know, even though Constantine I has a support talent tree, he has been proven to have a higher defense compared to Richard I and Charles Martel. Now, let us see how his skill proved to be tankier than them both. First skill provides attack reduction about 40% when expertised, and he has an additional damage taken reduction by 10%. Pretty solid, this is a nice skill. The second skill is he will increase his health bonus towards his infantry troops for 40%. This is very high, even higher than both of Richard and Charles Martel. His third skill is the garrison attack bonus and watchtower attack bonus by 10%, and receive the damage reduction from cavalry normal attack by 10%. This is really a commander that is good for countering cavalry rally. Alright, let us continue to his fourth skill. Cross of the Divine. Skill damage taken reduction 40%. This commander is really designed for additional defending. Alright, and he also have an additional healing factor by 15,000, but you cannot rely on that skill because 1 hour cooldown, it's going to be trouble. So you can rely on his healing factor, but you can rely more on his damage taken reduction by 40%. Now let's take a look on his expertise skill. Increased troop attack by 15% and defense by 5%. Pretty solid. So that's why this commander's skill is making him more tanky than both of Richard and Charles Martel. Well, you can compare it by yourself about Richard and Charles Martel towards this commander, right? Alright, now let's continue to our next commander, Alexander the Great. This is the commander which changed the playing style of infantry troops from defending, like Charles Martel and Richard I from the KvK 1, into more offensive. So this is a really good commander that you will really enjoy that, because it's really making the infantry to show its real inner beast. Alright, now let's check it out his skills. His first skill, he will create a powerful shield towards himself that could absorb amount of damage of 1200 with a maximum duration of 4 seconds. And at the same time, he will create a small shield that can protect his nearby friendly army with the lowest percentage of troops remaining. And this smaller shield could absorb maximum 600 of damage with maximum duration of 2 seconds. And the most interesting thing here is that his secondary shield can be given to Alexander's own troops, as he has the lowest troop percentage. Alright, now let's continue to our next commander, Alexander the Great. This is the commander which changed the playing style of infantry troops from defending, like Charles Martel and Richard I from the KvK 1, into more offensive. So this is a really good commander that you will really enjoy that, because it's really making the infantry to show its real inner beast. Alright, now let's check it out his skills. His first skill, he will create a powerful shield towards himself that could absorb amount of damage of 1200 with a maximum duration of 4 seconds. And at the same time, he will create a small shield that can protect his nearby friendly army with the lowest percentage of troops remaining. And this smaller shield could absorb maximum 600 of damage with maximum duration of 2 seconds. And the most interesting thing here is that his secondary shield can be given to Alexander's own troops, as he has the lowest troop percentage. So, if Alexander is the allied commander that have the lowest amount of troops percentage, he is capable of absorbing damage from the enemy by 1800. That is really insane, even higher than Charles Martel's shield. Alright, now let's continue to his second skill. This is the skill which makes Alexander to become, the king of the open field from the KvK Season 2. This skill provides immunity towards all damage reduction when Alexander is in the open field. For example, Boudica first skill, Adelflaed first skill, and the other skill that provides damage reduction effect, Alexander is immune towards all of them, which is crazy. Additionally, his regular attack have a 10% chance to deal additional direct damage by 1700 assuming it is maxed. And this 10% probability also include a healing reduction effect towards his enemy by 30% with 5 seconds durations. This is really crazy. Now let's continue to his next skill. Provides both infantry march speed and attack bonus by 30%. This is really great. Now let's discuss about his last skill. This skill will give additional attack bonus by 40% when the shield is down. However, when the shield is up, the bonus will be changed from the attack becoming defense enhancement by 30%. And the shield he is referring is about his first skill. The 1200 skill when it is up. Then Alexander will have a further amount of defense bonus by 30%. And when the shield is down, it has enhancement of attack bonus by 40%. That is really great. And let's take a look on his expertise skill. When you max him out, when you expertise him, his first skill will have additional of damage taken by nearby enemies, which is up to 3 targets, by 30% with a duration of 4 seconds. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have discussed about Alexander the Great and Constantine the First skills. Now let us proceed to the moment that all of you have been waiting for. The best infantry commander pairing for the KvK Season 2. Right, so the best infantry commander pairing for the KvK Season 2 that is also capable of defeating full archer troops that is led by YSG is gonna be Alexander the Great as a primary and Richard I as the secondary. This commander pairing is so crazy because, as we know, in the KvK Season 1, Richard I is the best infantry commander if he paired with Charles Martel. And as we know here, Alexander the Great is basically, the stronger version of Charles Martel. So that is going to be insane, putting them both. What the hell is wrong with this? I made it correct, but yeah, this is kind of annoying. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, where were we? Yeah, we were talking about Alexander as the primary and Richard I as the secondary pairing. So yeah, Richard I and Charles Martel are basically the strongest infantry commander pairing in the KvK Season 1, and because of Alexander provides more shield than Charles Martel, then this is going to be the best infantry commander pairing in the KvK Season 2. I mean, take a look on Alexander's skills. When the shield is up, it provides a defense bonus of 30%, while he still have shields, a bigger amount of shield than Charles Martel. While Richard has the ability to heal himself. This is making him very tanky, yet when the shield is down, Alexander the Great still have bonus attack 40%, which is insane. And his second skill also complementary towards his fourth skill because he has a 10% to deal 1700 of damage. This what makes Alexander the Great and Richard I is the best infantry pairing in the KvK Season 2. Now let's continue to the next best infantry commander pairing for the KvK Season 2. They are... who is gonna be? Well, this is going to be unexpected because one of the commander will not be an infantry commander. So it's going to be Charles Martel as the primary and YSG as the secondary. It's going to be the AoE infantry combo. Well, it's might shocking because you have YSG as an archer commander, but well, you use YSG as the secondary anyway. As you can see here, it provides archer attack bonus by 100%, but it only have a 10% chance, so it doesn't really matter, while the rest of his skill doesn't have any requirement in the terms of archer troops. His first skill, direct damage, his fourth skill, but skill damage bonus by 50%, so yeah, and the open field is still great, considered as great. Even Charles Martel as a primary and YSG as secondary is considered to be not only the second best infantry commander in the open field, but also the best garrison defender in the KvK Season 2. So yeah, you might want to invest on this commander if you're playing on garrison. And in the open field is really great either. Right? Now take a look why Charles Martel is a primary and not Richard I, not Alexander. I'm going to explain to you. So when the shield is up, it's going to have a damage bonus by 30%. And the shield is up for 4 seconds, which is long enough to keep the buff still up while YSG using his skill. So it's going to be 1400 AoE damage while boosted by 30%. Take a look how the damage is going to be. It's going to be really high. Alright? While Alexander here, when the shield is up, he doesn't get bonus attack at all, instead of bonus defense by 30%. And what YSG need was an attack bonus, so that his skill will deal more AoE damage towards the enemy. While Richard I, his skill is about damage reduction, so not about attack. His only skill that proves to be additional increase of attack is his passive skill, which only 15% amount of chance. So yeah, so that's why Charles Martel is the best pick for YSG's primary for the full infantry troops. Okay, now let's continue to the third best infantry commander pairing in the KvK Season 2. Who is gonna be? Yeah, it's going to be Constantine as the primary and Joan of Arc as the secondary. Yeah, this is going to be, more likely a support combo, support pairing. However, the troops is fully rely on infantry because of Constantine I is set as a primary. Not only because he's his legendary commander, but also he has a pure infantry talent tree. So infantry talent tree, specific talent tree is considered to be better than leadership or integration talent tree. So that's why I'm putting Constantine I as a primary. Take a look on his skill, how it's complementary to each other. This Constantine provides to be as the best wall in the KvK Season 2, which is supported with Joan of Arc. She is so complementary towards Constantine I because his first skill provides 50 rage per second for 4 seconds, so it's going to be 200 rages. This is crazy. And towards the infantry units, it's going to be increase the infantry units' health by 30%. So take a look on Constantine health, infantry health bonus. 40% plus 70%, that is going to be crazy. And take a look on his third skill, it's going to be for 450. So Constantine is going to be further healed, right? And his fourth skill is going to be increased normal attack damage, which proved to be useful for Constantine because he's more focused on defending, so he need additional attack enhancement, and Joan of Arc really complete that requirement. So these three commander pairing is going to be best used, only suitable if you already maxed them all. Alright, so you have, for example, the best is, that I've told you, was Alexander as the primary and Richard I as the secondary, assuming them both at level 60, and they are both expertise, the same as the second commander pairing, and also the third commander pairing that I've, suggest to you. If you're a free player or a low spender, doesn't mean that you don't have a chance to have the best infantry pairing in the KvK Season 2. Do not worry, I have the substitution for the secondary commander pairing for you. So let's take a look back for the best infantry commander pairing for the KvK Season 1. It's going to be Alexander as the primary. So who is going to be the secondary? The secondary is going to be Sun Tzu. Alright, so Alexander as primary, Sun Tzu as a secondary, so you could enjoy the process. Or you can still have Richard I as a primary and Sun Tzu as a secondary. It's still going to be a great combo. Or even Richard I as a primary and Aethelflaed as secondary, you can have, the March speed reduction combo from Aethelflaed and Richard I. There is still a lot of possibility for low spender or free to play to have accessibility towards the best infantry. Well, not really best, but it's really great and usable in the battlefield, because everybody needs the March speed buff. Okay? And about the second best commander pairing that I told you, which is Charles Martel as the primary and YSG as the secondary. If you are a free player and you only have YSG, as a free player you probably have master YSG more than Charles Martel, so you still have a chance to have a great infantry commander pairing in the KvK Season 2. So you have to replace Charles Martel with Sun Tzu, because he is actually a better race regenerator than Charles Martel, so that YSG for skill will occur more in the battlefield, right? So 50 rage times 5 targets is going to be 250. Yeah, I've been telling this much in my previous videos. I've discussing a lot about Sun Tzu, which is he is the best rage regenerator in the entire game. So yeah, pairing him with YSG is going to be great. But the downside is that this commander pairing is going to be squishy, very squishy, so you must be avoid of being hit. You have to be playing it smart behind the other more tankier March, like for example Richard I or Charles Martel. If your friends have them both, stay behind them to play more damage for the AoE, then you're going to be great in the battlefield. And about the third best infantry commander pairing, which is more focused on support in the terms of full infantry troops. I was telling you that it was Constantine I as a primary and Joan of Arc as a secondary. And if you are a free player, a low spender, if you really want to have this combo, then you really have to tackle Constantine I in the Mightiest Governor event, because you don't have a really good substitution for the Constantine. Well, you might be telling me that Sun Tzu as a primary could be replacing Constantine I. Well, so do you mean it's going to be Sun Tzu as a primary and Joan of Arc as a secondary? Well, let me tell you, that pairing is not going to be good, because they are both flexible. Okay, so they're most likely to be paired with the other kind of commander. For example, you don't have Constantine but you have Aethelflaed, then the Joan of Arc you have there is going to be best paired with Aethelflaed. And the Sun Tzu, for example, if you have Richard the First or YSG, yes, as a free player you probably have to choose. Previously you were forced to choose to master either YSG or Richard. So yeah, Sansu is going to be better if it's paired with either one of YSG or Richard compared to becoming paired with Joan of Arc. So yeah, so Joan of Arc and Sansu is not going to be paired in the same march. So yeah, what I'm going to tell you is that this third best infantry commander pairing in the KvK Season 2 is only suitable if you win the Mighty Discover event. So yeah, there is no other way. If you want the third best infantry commander pairing in the KvK Season 2 in the term of infantry support, you really have to unlock Constantine the First in the Mighty Discover event. There is no other way. I'm going to show you my Mighty Discover event. Well, the current Mighty Discover event in the Kingdom 1615 is Elsad, but yeah, I'm still able to telling you how much sculpture that you need to focus and how much rank that you need to target, right? So in order to unlock the legendary MGE commander, you need to at least have 10 of his sculpts. So you could at least achieve rank 10 to 15 in one Mighty Discover event, or you can add them progressively. So you actually have 4 chances to win a spot on a Mighty Discover event in a certain commander. So yeah, for example, if you need only 10 amount of sculpture, then it's going to be, for example, 3, 3, 5, for example. Oh no, it's 4 chances, so it's going to be 3, 3, 3, 3. You can have a spot in the rank 26 to 35 4 times in the Mighty Discover event to obtain Constantine. Or you even could get 2, 2, 2, 5. Yeah, there's a lot of combination. Just make it sure you have at least 10 sculpture in 4 times Mighty Discover event. Then it's going to be no problem if you can achieve that, right? But what I recommend, if you're a free player, if you want a shortcut, if you don't want to choose the hard route in a Mighty Discover event, then I would recommend using the Wheel of Fortune commanders such as Alexander the Great as a primary and Sansu as a secondary. Or if you have Richard, you probably have unlocked Richard in the KvK Season 1, then it's going to be Richard as a primary and Sansu as a secondary. Well, in my route, I'm going to unlock Alexander the Great because I have chosen, in the KvK Season 1, I've chosen YSG instead of Richard. So it's a great chance to unlock Alexander the Great here as a primary, and I'm going to use Sansu as a secondary. Yeah, it's going to be great because as a free player, you still have the chance to enjoy, to have the maximum utility of having one of the best infantry commander pairing in the KvK Season 2. Alright, before I close this video, I'm going to sum it up for you. So, once again, the best infantry commander pairing for the KvK Season 2 is going to be Alexander as the primary and Richard the First as the secondary. And the second best infantry commander pairing in the KvK Season 2, which is also specialized in the AoE, is going to be Charles Martel as the primary and YSG as the secondary. And the third best infantry commander pairing for the KvK Season 2 is going to be Constantine the First as a primary and Joan of Arc as the secondary. Alright, that's all for today's video. I hope that it is useful for all of you who wants to build the best infantry commander pairing for the KvK Season 2. If you enjoyed this video, recommend this to your friends and do not forget to leave the thumbs up button, comment and subscribe. See you in the next video. Vassals out!